Miss Davidson, come on in. Have a seat.
Thank you. I appreciate you seeing me on such short notice, Mr. Webster.
Oh, gosh, any time. At least you called Dad to say you were coming. Some people, like your dear sister, just barge in on me.
Welcome to the club. My dear sister dropped in on me unexpectedly at work today. Twice, as a matter of fact.
You have my sympathy.
Mr. Webster, Nancy's why I'm here to see you. She desperately needs money, and I'm afraid of what she might do if she doesn't get some help.
Well, here I am as promised.
Yes, the business protocol, as you put it, isn't it?
That, and I'd like your signature on these forms. 10A, 10B here, and don't forget 10E.
You look sensational out there, Amber.
10E states that Models Associates did in no way damage any of the equipment used on the site.
And I love the way you moved in the camera. Oh,
You'll need to check each item before you sign it.
I like what I saw. You are one beautiful lady. I just envy your photographer.
So now you're into photography.
Sure, why not?
Well, maybe you'd like to consider the photography course that I recommended to your assistant.
Peter?
You know, that young man really impressed me today. He really kept us on schedule by going to pick up all of those extra rolls of film for us.
Yeah, well, he's what you call a natural gopher. Yeah, he's picking up some permits for me right now at the OPD office. Now myself, well, I have a company to run.
Well, Gil, thank you very much for Prescott Development's cooperation on this. It was an experience working with you.
Well, hold on now.
Gil, you did say you have a company to run. Well, so do I.
Well, sure, but that's what we have in common. And I'll bet you excel in everything you do, too.
I did not become manager of Modeling Associates on looks, if that's what you think.
No way, no. I saw the way you got those models to do exactly what you wanted.
Well, I suppose you just need to know exactly what you want.
Right.
All things considered, I felt it went well today.
Oh, yeah. That's because of you, though. I mean, beauty and brains. Great combination. I love it. But I'll tell you, why don't we get to know each other a little bit better? We could find out what we have in common, say, over dinner tonight. Or we could leave right now.
I thought you were waiting for Peter to bring back some permits.
Yeah, well, I think he's going to be a little late, you know. He probably got lost. No telling what time he's going to get back, so.
For a natural gopher, he seems to not have much of a sense of direction.
No, he does, as long as I map his way out for him.
Permits you wanted?
Lord knows I've had about enough of Nancy's temper tantrums as I can take.
I know the feeling.
Still, she does need help. I've tried to reason with her about Mother's house, but she just won't listen.
I take it that she does not want to sell.
She flatly refused, in spite of a $20,000 hospital bill and her other unpaid bills. Mr. Webster, Nancy and I already have a buyer.
I know. Jean and Carla Redlin. It's funny, I never thought Nancy was a sentimental type. Your mother's house must mean an awful lot to her.
Well, so she says. I even believed her once. That's why I offered to sell my half to her when she was engaged to Charles Carpenter.
To his checkbook.
She can't afford to buy me out now since the engagement fell through. And the minute I mentioned that Jean and Carla were potential buyers, suddenly the house meant so much to her, and she said she was so fond of the neighborhood.
And just had to protect it from any further integration.
Mr. Webster, I've discussed ownership rights with you before, but what happens if I still want to sell and Nancy can't buy me out?
Well, you still have two other options. You've already given Nancy what legally is hers, the first option to buy. That same rule applies to you.
So if Nancy wanted to sell, then I'd get the first option to buy.
Precisely.
Well, strike that one. I'm also considered an undesirable buyer as far as my sister is concerned. My second option?
Well, like I mentioned to you before, if one party wants to sell and the second party cannot buy out the first, then both parties have to sell to a third party.
That simple?
No, not really. Actually, 9 times out of 10, these matters have to go through the courts before they're settled.
Oh, I hate to do that, but it seems inevitable for the good of everyone.
Nancy included, I hate to admit.
Mr. Webster, I would like you to start court action to allow a third party to buy the house. And I would like you to tell Nancy of my decision. I intend to sell my half.
I can just see her face now when I tell her.
Yeah, but she needs to hear from you, otherwise she'll probably just think I'm bluffing.
All right, if that's what you want.
It is. Now, Nancy can get all her debts paid off, and Jean and Carla will have their dream house, which is especially important now that another child's on the way.
Yeah, Ione Redland told me about that. I am so happy for that couple. And don't you worry. I will talk to Nancy, if not today, tomorrow for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Webster.
Sure, don't mention it. I'll get back to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Harold Webster's law office. This is Harold Webster speaking.
Hello? Harold?
Babs? Oh, gosh, it is good to hear your voice.
Hey, thanks a lot, Davidson. I can always count on you to show up just at the right time.
You told me you needed the permits right away.
Well, I should leave now. I can see you two have a lot of work to do.
No, don't leave. Here, I want you to file these. No, we made dinner plans, remember?
No, we didn't. You did.
What? Same difference.
Gil, I already have plans.
Well, can't you count me in on them?
No, I have work to do. I have layouts to finish. I've got to...
Okay, tomorrow night, then.
I don't have time.
The next night.
Gil.
The next night after that, I'm not going to stop until you say yes.
All right, tomorrow night.
Great.
I really have to go now.
Fine, I'll call you tomorrow, okay? We'll go someplace real special.
Not the Castaway.
The bar in the King's Arms Hotel?
Don't mind him, he was just joking around. His sense of humor is about as good as his sense of timing.
Oh, I see. Well, goodbye, Peter. Thank you.
Goodbye, and thank you for that tip on the photography class.
You're very welcome. See you.
You will. Oh, yeah. And you and your wisecrack. Huh? How about that crack about the Castaway bar? Oh, real
Hey,
good.
You don't want to be caught there. With her. Don't let Vicky catch you.
What's the matter? Can't you keep Vicky occupied?
You know what I mean?
Listen, Sir Galahad, you take care of Miss Lang. I'll take care of Miss Phillips. Okay?
Wait a minute, Babs. Just slow down here for a second. Tell me where you are.
Back at the North Pole. Where else does Santa go?
Well, are you all right?
Oh, so far so good. You know, wearing that suit was the first time I ever really liked myself in red. Don't that beat all?
Yeah, it was real good to see you at Christmas Eve, even if I didn't recognize you right at first.
Oh, hey, a master of disguises. I mean, that's Babs for you. Remember when I used to dress up as your secretary? I had you fooled for months.
Yeah, you sure did. Gosh, I wish you were back. Place isn't the same without you.
I'll bet. Who you got taking my place?
Nobody. No, I just got some temporary help coming in from time to time. Job's still yours.
I'd like to take you up on that right now. Hey, did you think about me any during the holidays?
Yeah, a lot.
For real?
Yeah, for real. I miss you, Barbara.
Yeah, me too. Well, look, let's not get sloppy here. I mean, we both know I can't risk coming back right now. Hey, have you heard anything new about Miriam?
No. No, I haven't. Charles is out of the hospital, though. He's home.
Oh, well, I'm glad he made it. I'll bet he's really wondering where she's at now.
Yeah, he's pretty worried.
So am I. You know, I can't get her out of my mind.
Well, look, I'm doing everything I can to find her. I believe that.
I just never should have stashed those photocopies in her purse. I mean, I can't believe I did something that dumb, risking her life like that.
Look, Babs, don't blame yourself for that. Now, there might be no connection at all between Miriam's disappearance and those photocopies of Ronnie's ledgers. Besides, Miriam probably doesn't even know she's got them. You hid them in behind the lining of her purse.
Oh, it just makes me wish I'd never gone through Ronnie's books. But you know the man. He never would have taken my word for it, not without proof. Mr. Personality, he ain't. You ought to know that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, listen. I just want to thank you for everything you did for me. I mean, you and Ione gave me a chance, and well, I won't ever forget it.
Oh, that reminds me. Ione called me today.
She did.
Yeah, she wanted to tell me all about her new job.
Ione has a job. Doing what?
She's working at the Chesterfield Free Clinic, that new clinic that Ben Martin opened up.
Boy, isn't that just like something she'd do, though? Hey, listen, tell her hello for me, will you?
I will.
Well, I guess I better go.
Yeah, well,
Goodbye, Harold.
goodbye, Babs. Take care of yourself.
With Amber, you gotta whine it. Well, look who finally showed up.
I thought you and Peter had already gone for the afternoon.
Yeah, well, we thought we'd take a break. You know, it gets a little hectic on that side all day.
What a day it was, Mary Ann. You should have been there.
Well, why? What happened?
It's great. All those models were there.
Models? Oh, yeah, from Modeling Associates. I forgot. Well, how'd it go?
Great. You know, I had everything running smooth as usual.
Naturally, you had to see to the safety of Miss Amber Phillips and her models, personally.
Naturally.
Mary Ann, you'd never guess how much work goes into something like that. Oh, what am I saying? Of course, you would understand.
Oh?
Yeah, it's kind of like what you do. You see, a photographer takes a lot of different angles, same model, a lot of shots, just as you would draw your building there from a lot of different angles.
Well, gee, guys, I'm sorry I missed the event of the day, but I was home all day working on the sketches for the new health spa.
Oh, I got the permit for that, and the Park Square project.
Not bad.
Well, I'm pleased with it.
Well, a couple changes in the front entrance and it'll be okay.
Oh, no, I like it the way it is.
Well, any changes I'll do tomorrow. I don't want to keep Russ waiting.
Oh, of course not. You know, just forget about work and have fun with Russ. Yeah.
Gil, I'm having dinner with Russ and Vince at King's Arms, but if you insist on joining us, I don't think they'd care. Well, Vince wouldn't.
No, but I would.
Well, I thought you'd feel that way. Peter, these are the color schemes I want to use on the new health spa. Could you make me about a dozen copies?
Sure.
Okay, and just leave them on my desk. I'll take care of them tomorrow, too.
Can we count on you to show up here tomorrow?
Gil, why are you making such a big deal over this? I thought we came to terms regarding Russ.
We did. I'm just keeping tabs on you like you do to me, you know, by the company we keep. And I'm not talking about Prescott Development, neither.
Oh, thank you. We'll order later when our guest arrives, all right?
Yes, sir. Well. So what's your answer?
It's a little dry, don't you think?
Mine's fine, but that's not what we're talking about.
Russ, let's not talk about business right now. Mary Ann could walk in any minute. Might overhear something you could regret.
The only thing I regret is not asking you to put me on the payroll sooner. Save me the embarrassment of getting fired from Kingsley.
Russ, I know how you feel, but
If you knew how I felt, you'd cut out all this small talk and tell me straight. Am I part of the family business or not?
just simmer down, will you? We haven't yet fully discussed what you're asking for here.
A job, Vince. A job.
I can't just give you a job. Not my line of business, you know that.
Well, I'm willing to take whatever comes with the territory. Judging from the looks of how well you're doing, I'd say the fringe benefits more than make up for anything else.
Have you talked to Carrie yet about coming to work for me?
Since when do I go to Mom for advice or approval of what I'm gonna do next?
Might not be a bad idea. She could tell you all about those fringe benefits. How many days every year you have to keep free for attending funerals.
Vince, I can do without the horror stories. I don't scare easily.
Not now, you don't. What about Mary Ann? How are you going to deal with her?
I can handle Mary Ann.
She's a lot stronger woman than you give her credit for being, Russ. She's growing more and more curious about my business involvements.
Yeah, well, that'll stop. I explained to her. You're a legitimate businessman, period.
Did she accept your explanation?
She wants what I want.
Russ, she cares for you very deeply. I'd hate to see that end. It just could if she were to find out what I'm involved with.
Believe me, Vince. I don't want to lose her. I have no intention of losing her. Now, what about the job? Is it mine?
You know, Lester Lewis could still rehire you over
I'm
at
not
Kingston
talking
Hospital.
about Lester Lewis.
It's not too late for me to talk to the friends of mine on the board of directors and make him do it.
Well, don't bother because I'm not going back there.
Headstrong as ever.
And you're stalling.
All right. Let's leave it at this for the moment. Anyone who comes to work for me, there's no backing out. Once they're in to stay. You understand that? No matter what happens.
Carla! I'm home!
Hi.
Hey there!
You're early.
Yes. I finished my copy so I could hurry home to see you.
Oh, that's nice. I was just getting ready to fix dinner.
Oh, well, I was hoping that you wouldn't.
Why? I'm making the tuna casserole that you and Jimmy love so much.
Well, lady, I wanted to take the family out to dinner tonight.
Yeah?
My article on the city budget over expenditure, front page.
Oh, Gene. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And you got a byline, too.
Sure did.
Ah, Gene Redlin, staff reporter.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, wait till Mama sees this.
Yeah.
She'll probably want to save it and read it at Thanksgiving along with your fourth grade composition.
Second thought, maybe we better not let Mom see it. Where's she? Is she still at the clinic right now?
Yeah, she came home for lunch, but she said she'd be late for dinner.
What about Jimmy? Is he home yet?
No, he's got basketball practice.
Hey, well, why don't we cancel that casserole and the two of us can go out to dinner?
The three of us?
Correction. The three of us can go out to dinner tonight. And we can pick up something for Mom and Jimmy on the way back.
Oh, honey, I'd love to, but we can't.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Is the baby okay?
Oh, baby's fine.
Are you sure, Carla?
Yes, I'm fine. We can't go because Terry's coming over.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Hey, Lori's okay, isn't she?
Oh, Gene, will you stop acting like a reporter always expecting the worst? This time it's good news.
What about?
Well, Terry didn't say what it was about.
Oh, you don't know what it's about, but it's good news.
It has to be about our new house. I know it.
Yeah, Mom sure has you trained. No news is good news.
I asked the Lord to give us a home, and I believe he will.
But it may not be the one we had in mind. I just don't want you to get your hopes up and then get disappointed, Carla.
I won't. But there's nothing wrong with hoping in the Lord.
Yeah, maybe. But still, I think maybe we should just wait and see what Terry has to say,
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Some of the stockholders in Hollister Mall don't want the place to expand.
But you're willing to take the risk, you and your 51%.
It's a risky business. I figured we could, sure. Oh, here's Marianne.
Hey, hi, man. How you doing?
Well, you certainly know how to make a girl feel special.
That's just because you are special.
Indeed you are.
Well, I'll say this. You never keep me waiting. You always arrive earlier than I do.
Well, Vince likes to be the first one in and last one to leave. I have to get used to your schedule.
Well, it has its advantages. Marianne, could I order you a drink?
No, I'd like to wait first, sort of relax. Unless you'd like something else.
No, I'm fine. How about you, Russ?
No, fine, thank you.
Thank you. I've been working on some sketches all day, and it's nice to just take a break, especially with two very charming gentlemen.
Thank you for making me not feel like a third wheel.
Well, I'm glad you're here, Vince.
Glad to hear you say that. I know you and Russ would rather be alone, but it's important for me to spend some time with my son.
What do you mean that?
Indeed, I do. Man's family is the most important thing to her. Don't you ever forget that, Russ. Even though I have been negligent in that field while you were growing up, it's still true nonetheless.
Well, Russ and I both value our time with you. Don't we, Russ?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Marianne. I want you two to get used to having me around.
Why? Are you planning to settle in Kingsley permanently?
Well, I don't know about permanently, but for right now, it certainly suits my interest, and I'm growing very fond of Kingsley. Every time I got here, I think I like the city more and more.
Compared to Chicago?
Well, it's not really quite a fair comparison, is it? But yes, even compared to Chicago. For the moment, it suits my family's interest.
Excuse me, I would like to order now.
Oh, of course, so would I. And let's order the best meal we can. For you, Marianne, and for my son.
So Harold Webster is going to tell Nancy of my decision. You're the first and only couple to qualify as the third party.
I knew we'd get a chance to buy it.
Yeah, along with a fight from Nancy. You know, Nancy, she's not gonna give up without causing more trouble.
I certainly don't expect any cooperation from her, Gene. But this matter is going to be settled, one way or another, even if it's in court.
Oh, Terry, you don't think it'd come to that?
Well, it could. Nancy can be very stubborn when she wants to be.
Look, Terry, we're very, very grateful that you're willing to sell the house to us, but if Nancy's gonna cause any damage to it or cause you any suffering because of trying to sell it to us, we'd be willing to back out of the deal altogether.
No, Gene. I can't believe that Nancy would be that vindictive. And this is best for everyone, Nancy included.
Join us again tomorrow for more of Another Life.